don't we shift into the critical client flow? Because this is an exercise, right, that you developed.
Yes.
And we've gone through this, and you and I have had conversations around this, and you've actually kind of demonstrated this live to a group of our clarity coaching clients in one of our masterminds that you joined us on. But I'd love if you could just take a few minutes and walk everyone through what is the critical client flow, like why is it so important, and then maybe just break it down so people could start to kind of think through this and maybe even attempt it themselves to begin with.
Yeah. So, and I think anybody listening to this right now can follow along with this exercise. It's a really simple exercise that'll give you excellent clarity. So it's called the critical client flow, and you just need an A4 bit of paper and think about it in terms of your business. And what we're going to do is describe and capture the client and the business journey of delivering your core product or service. So we just start off and we first identify who's your target audience. Then we identify what is the primary product or service that you're selling them. So as a consultant, I always like to think in terms of what is the product that would be a gateway to the rest of your products and services. What is the first thing that you would sell to your dream client? Start there. Maybe it's a deep dive discovery call. Maybe it's a certain number of sessions that you sell with the client. Think about what that is. And then we map the journey that from grabbing the prospect's attention. So how do you actually grab their attention? And in this exercise, I always tell people, capture what you're currently doing, not what you would like to be doing. Because part of the exercise, if you go, oh, I'd love to be doing social media, but I'm not really doing social media. Well, don't put it down on the critical client flow. You might go, well, I get referral business. I do a little bit of SEO. I speak on stage or podcast, whatever it is. Just capture what you're currently doing in that first line. Now, the aim of the game here is to, and in the book, Systemology, I have like a little template that there's not really that much space. There's only room for 2 or 3 words in each one of these boxes, and it's by design. So you don't over complicate your business here, but you start off thinking, how do you get people's attention? Then we move down the page and we think, how do we handle the incoming inquiry? When someone is interested, are they filling out a form on your website? Are they calling you? Are they sending you an email? And then just write a few words in each of these boxes as you move down the page. Next, think, what happens with that inquiry? Like, do you have a qualification process? Are you hopping on a phone? Are you getting to fill out a questionnaire? And then keep moving down the page. What then, once they're qualified, do you do? How do you then sell them? What does your sales process look like? Do you have a Zoom webinar or a Zoom session with them where you explore further? And what happens after that? Do you then prepare a proposal? So as you're moving down the page, and these are just boxes, there's 2 or 3 words in each box, and we only capture what we're currently doing. After we go, okay, how do we issue out a proposal? Then how do you take the money? Like, do you invoice a deposit or 50% upfront or something, or is it all on completion? Keep moving down the page. Then how do you onboard the client when they actually pay? Do you enter them into your CRM, or do you have a project management software, or how do you loop in your team at that point if you've got one, or contractors, or how do you get it onto the calendar? Those sorts of things. Move down the page. Then the one underneath that would be, how do you deliver the core product or service? This one, by design, keep it very high level. And then finally, how do you then deliver the product, hand over, and get them to repeat or upsell them into another program? Just visually mapping this down, you should be able to get it to a point where you can go to someone who doesn't really know your business, and you can show them this A4 bit of paper, and they should be able to follow along and go, I understand your business. This is clear to me when you talk it through. That's the sign that you've got it correct. Sometimes when you do this, there's patches as well, things missing. And that's little warning signs as well. Like, oh, I don't have a way that I'm onboarding clients. Well, that's a little bit of a warning sign for you that that's probably going to be a problem area.